As if this NBA offseason couldn't get crazier, man. So now we've got a rumor that the Cavaliers would be willing to trade the Nets pick they just got from the Celtics, as well as Iman Shumpert in exchange for Demarcus Cousins of the Pelicans. I think this move, to be honest, I can understand why the Cavaliers would inquire about this sort of thing. And while I don't know if I would use this move to like pick them over the Warriors or anything, I do understand it, and I do think the combination of like him as well as Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love, it could give Golden State some problems. And I also think the Cavaliers' veteran team with LeBron James, Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Tyronn Lue as your head coach, I think that's the sort of team where they could keep DeMarcus Cousins' attitude reined in, because, I mean, if you're not going to listen to LeBron James yelling at you, then I don't know who the hell you're going to listen to at that point. So I can understand this from the Cavaliers' perspective. And I mean, if we can go into the matchup versus the Warriors, because to me, everything the Cavaliers do at this point should just be with the Warriors in mind, pretty much. So if you were to get DeMarcus Cousins, and I'll get into whether they should even make this move given LeBron James's commitment or lack of commitment in a minute, but I got started on the Warriors, so I might as well just go to this now. I mean, the size would definitely be a thing. Draymond Green is a hell of a post defender, but at a certain point, the other guy is just too damn big, and I think DeMarcus Cousins could be too damn big for Draymond Green to deal with consistently. But at the same time, if he's being defended by Zaza Pachulia, Zaza might not be the most gifted defender in the world, but he's at least a decently strong dude who's not just going to get bullied in the paint by Boogie all the time. Now, of course, there are counters to this for the Warriors. You put DeMarcus Cousins in pick and rolls against Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, and if you have the small lineup in there, I think Boogie could have some trouble defensively. But then once again, it comes back to just how big DeMarcus is and how good of a rebounder he is. Could give the Warriors some trouble. And a front court of like DeMarcus Cousins with Tristan Thompson, that could really cause some headaches for Golden State. Now, once again, on the flip side, that means what, Boogie's defending Durant, which he can't do, but I don't think Durant can really defend Boogie like that either. So it would really be an interesting thing. And I think a lineup of Isaiah Thomas, if he is the Isaiah Thomas of this previous season or close to it, Jay Crowder or J.R. Smith, LeBron, Boogie, and Tristan Thompson. It's an interesting lineup, if anything. It's got size, it's got rebounding, it's got shooting. LeBron can create. You know, I mean, I can see the avenue for that being like something the Warriors could have some trouble with. At the same time, they're the Warriors, and I would probably still pick them in a series, but, you know, I understand it for the Cavaliers' perspective. But now we can get into just LeBron James, because, I mean, this pick, to me, it just gives the Cavaliers so much power, because if LeBron commits to staying, and that's the key, if he tells you that he's in and he wants to re-sign, then you make this trade. If he's wishy-washy, if he's not 100%, then I'm not making the move, because I'm not going to sacrifice my future for the maybe of LeBron James staying. I'm just not going to do it, you know? So we're just going to have to wait and see on that one. And another big reason why I wouldn't do it would be that DeMarcus Cousins is on a one-year contract. Because, you know, you could say, well, yeah, but even if LeBron leaves, you could re-sign Boogie and then he can be your guy for the next X amount of years. I mean, we kind of have a track record of DeMarcus Cousins sucking as a leader, you know? So, I mean, I'm not really going to commit to that. Plus, if LeBron leaves, that means Isaiah probably leaves, and then what, you're the DeMarcus Cousins Cavaliers? I don't want DeMarcus Cousins as my best player. Now, if DeMarcus Cousins is my third best player, which could be the outcome of this trade if Isaiah Thomas is good to go, well, now we got something. What would happen with Kevin Love in this situation? I don't know. Maybe he ends up coming off the bench for Boogie. What the hell happens? Because you have Kevin Love, DeMarcus Cousins, and Tristan Thompson. I mean, among those three guys, I think the dude who would be the most content with coming off the bench would be Tristan Thompson. But I don't know if that would be the best basketball decision. I really don't know. That would be interesting. I feel like you could talk me into almost any combination with those three guys. Although the chances of Boogie coming off the bench are pretty low, because I'm pretty sure he would just throw a temper tantrum if you came to him with that idea. So, whatever. Basically, I understand why the Cavs would do it from a basketball standpoint, but I would not do the move until I knew for a fact that LeBron James was staying. Now if we can talk about this from the Pelicans' standpoint, I mean, to be honest, Demarcus Cousins' stock was super low when he was on a 2-year contract. I mean, what was it? It was basically Buddy Hield and a first-round pick. I mean, it's not bad, but for Demarcus Cousins, it's not exactly a haul, to say the least. So you can just take that and then make it even worse because Boogie's on a 1-year deal. And if the Pelicans were to make this move, we have to assume it meant that the Anthony Davis-DeMarcus Cousins experiment did not work out, which I'm sure would not be helping Boogie's stock as well. Now, of course, one of the reasons it might not work out, which is something I've talked about a lot, is that outside of Drew Holiday, their perimeter talent really isn't that good. There's not a lot of shooting. Their starting small forward, who really isn't a small forward, Solomon Hill is gone, Dante Cunningham's gone. They're just desperate for wing players. So even if Boogie and AD are great together, there just might not be enough other guys to do things for them. But regardless, the way the NBA works, you know some of that heat is going to come on DeMarcus Cousins. It's going to be, oh, he's not in Sacramento anymore, and he's still not a leader, which means the best you probably would get for him is Iman Shumpert and that first-round pick by the Brooklyn Nets. So that's the sort of thing where we don't know for a fact what offers the Pelicans would actually get for the guy, but I have to assume they wouldn't be that good. So this might actually be the best move you can get, which is just to get a high draft pick for DeMarcus Cousins. The question would be is if the Pelicans would actually use the pick, because maybe they would just see it as a trade piece, because, I mean, Anthony Davis still has quite a few years left on his contract, but at the same time, it's like, maybe they'll just get super impatient and do what they've always done, which is make right now moves that don't work out for them. I don't know, it would depend on what they envision that draft pick being for them. Do they picture it as a huge trade piece, or do they picture it as a guy they can draft and they can run through that whole thing again? So there's a lot of elements to this move. I mean, LeBron's going to have to commit. The Anthony Davis-DeMarcus Cousins experiment is going to have to be a failure. The Pelicans are going to have to get no better offers for DeMarcus Cousins, which that one I think is pretty likely. Actually, let me backtrack a little bit. I said that the Cavaliers would need to get the okay from LeBron, or the confirmation that he's going to stay. I mean, that's what I would do, but for all I know, they're just desperate, and they think if they make this move, then LeBron will be like, oh, they're trying to win, so I'll stay. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. And then even if the move did happen, I think it would definitely cause the Warriors some problems because of the size and the different lineup combinations you could put together, where Jay Crowder could be your small ball 4, and then you could have like Cousins or Love or Tristan Thompson at the 5, or you could have like Boogie at the 4, Thompson at the 5. You could have Boogie and Kevin Love together for a lot of shooting. It would be an interesting thing. Ultimately, I would still pick the Warriors, but if everything is green-lighted, and there's a lot of things to green-light, another one of them being Isaiah Thomas's health, then yeah, I get it for the Cavaliers' standpoint. I don't know, it's a freaking mess, man.